This is the Kyoto National Museum, built into this European style. Here are all the kids going to school because they go to school on Saturdays here in order to try it again to compete. If anyone's ever done a study, I don't know that they have in the United States, I'm not sure I've ever seen one, that actually tracks what happens to kids after they have achieved that great glorious moment, according to education, of graduating from high school. All right, this is where we should be right now. And maybe I'll come back and look at one of these if I think they're really outstanding for some reason, or find out they are. Where the access is apparently isn't here, but there's supposed to be a beautiful garden here, not visited by foreigners much, so I may come back later for this. Notice where the flags that they can put up. Going to the left of Higashiyama Temple, and I'll hook around up here to, however you pronounce that, Kiyomizudera Temple. Maybe the Higashiyama Shrine, no way to tell, no English of course. Not on my list, but it's one that's open, so I thought, well, I'll take a look inside at least. Again, this just looks like a modern complex with traditional roof line. Nope, this is the temple. This was built in the year 1595 by Hideyoshi, one of the famous historical characters. Gave a reception here for a party of 1,000 priests who were helping him commemorate a memorial service for one of his parents. Again, it's just a labyrinth of big timbers, but a dark, imposing, big building. This building just mildly interesting because of the mild allusion to European art or architecture, in the sense of the arcade, if you will. Right near the big crossover. Freeway off-ramp. Very impressive entrance, so we'll pursue it. No English, so I don't know for sure what it is, but we should be getting near our next place, Kiyomizudera Temple, or however one would pronounce it. It may be that these strings are designed to keep hawks or something like that from getting the fish, or from keep fishermen from throwing lines in there. A pretty but relatively modern arched bridge. Monumental stone. Interestingly, with this large hole bored in the side. Interesting trees, aren't they? But even here, as we approach the entrance, a large sign gives no hint in English what this is. At back there is a little bit of English, but it doesn't name the whole site. Sure is. Pretty view of that bridge at this whatever it is. A little bit of irony. Here's a shop with great restraint, selling a few items, at least by display. Perhaps they're very, very expensive. And yet here a great number of all kinds of little items. Some of which I'm positive I've seen in China. And these are probably elegant, expensive sake or tea sets. A pretty sake vessel. I saw this little display walking up to where I hope I'm supposed to be going. Thought I'd drop down this side trip to see it. Like maybe it's a theater or maybe a bar. With the instructions and the people I ask tell me I'm going the right way. All the people migrating say that. About to go through this gauntlet of shops suggests we're moving towards something big. And there's probably 20 tour buses already empty behind me. First evidence I've seen of fans for sale, and yet they were an important part of the culture. In the same way that there are graphics on these fans, you can see how a plain fan like that could be in essence a writing pad. Certainly incorrect about one thing: the kids are not coming to school, at least not these kids. Impressive gate, if only because it's painted orange. So you clap in front of a shrine, but not at a temple. Now we're getting some color that you'd normally get in China. And this may reflect the age of this shrine or temple's heritage. So I've got a couple seconds here before the sun destroys my position. So far we haven't been charged a dime. Something's terribly wrong. This is the next building in sequence. The pagoda. So somewhere near here is what I'm looking for. And it may be this building right here. Numbered on the map, but I doubt there's any identification number here. Notice the embellishments. The color adds so much, I think. I just have to say I love the Chinese much more than the Japanese architecture. Giving all due respect to its restraint. It lacks excitement, enthusiasm. So this is where we're going to go next, building number 4. The guidebook tells us that we intentionally give you no information so as not to ruin the experience. Suffice to say, entry is symbolically entering the womb of female Bodhisattva. When you get to rock and darkness, spin in either direction and make a wish. Now here the guide has just given her group a little synopsis of what goes on in building number 4. There were the what I assume to be the appropriate chuckles about that, and then some purification going on, and then the group continues to move on. She must keep the horde moving. Okay, so I just come down these stairs, absolutely dark, and you hold on with your left hand. We're now making a right-hand turn, going back towards the stairway direction in the dark. Don't know if you'll be able to see anything, but this is the first thing I have seen. Is there's a small hole here, and it's bringing down light. Move on in the darkness, slightly less dark, but we're now moving away from the stone to get out. So I'll turn off my camera. And the men over there were most enthusiastic about my experience and hoped that I had had a great time, which I told them I did. was a bit eerie. Okay, another large collection of buildings. These perhaps we'll pay for.